Welcome back to the Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV, and our trip down memory lane in a realm reborn. Kruznik X here. We're still in our ways of patch 2.2 through the Maelstrom. Let's recap the rules right quick. I am playing this on New Game Plus with my main character, Chris Valentine. I am doing this as Meteor's job in the promotional trailer. Therefore, I am playing as Warrior. I am doing every instance either solo or through duty support, with the exception of normal raids, alliance raids, and duties that do not support it. And finally, I am either wearing quest or patch level appropriate gear. So, we were working on episode 60 because there was a little bit of overlap. Last episode, we discovered that the Sahagin are planning to summon Leviathan, so that's no bueno. But let's get right down to it with the next quest of our trip down memory lane. The Sea Rises.
Plainly, should the worst come to pass, and Leviathan is summoned, our only recourse will be to face him in battle. Given past experience, you may very well think that eventuality inevitable. Yet, so long as there is even a chance that the Primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all our efforts toward achieving that goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsa and meet with the Admiral. She will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share.
All right, off to Limsa. I've always set Limsa as my free teleport. And Limsa, just as lively as it was when we played last time. Or, actually, not as lively. Well, more lively than it was before. I keep forgetting it used to be a lot of the people either hung out in Limsa or they mostly hung out in wherever the tomestones were being sold. As expected. Pray, take the slip to the command room. Admiral.
Welcome, friends. I take it Y'shtola has apprised you of the situation? Let us waste no time, then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin had not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we did not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Stanland to supplement their cache. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospect of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom makes ready to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning, and we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. Whoops. But if, God forbid, our efforts should come to naught, I will need to trouble you for more than mere support, much as I did when Titan last walked these lands. Hey, Minfelia. I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers to the front lines. I can only assume that you have sound reasons for doing so. I do, Admiral. But I would rather not be drawn on their nature. I will say only that there is something I would see with mine own eyes. Is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of one whose aid I require, but precautions must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Captain Valentine, Captain Valentine. Our scouts are currently reconnoitering Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning grounds. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operation staging post at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be apprised of the latest intelligence. Commander Falk Breda has charge of the garrison.
Alright, let us make our way to Airport. Ah, dang it. Fog in Lenosha. Alright, let's expedite Bion's little trip in our...
I've been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we will prevent Leviathan's return.
Okay. Okay, we have a missing quest here. Fireworks and fish don't mix. Where we had to do some diversionary maneuvers. Oh, we need to use explosives on them in the Sapsa spawning grounds. I totally forgot about this quest. Guess I should be glad it wasn't too many. Alright, let's continue with Scouts in Distress.
As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter the Sapsa spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, the Maelstrom has never faced a foe like the likes of this before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine where Leviathan might emerge. Assuming it comes to that. And yet, their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or worse, we must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in the search. 5 scouts ventured into Sapsa, all told. Here, take this flask of restorative to tend to those who may have been wounded. Though it pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, I ask that you recover their bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however. We can ill afford to lose you at this juncture.
It's a good thing to know that we skipped a few quests in our journey. Alright, let's see now. Ah, there he is. Help. Somebody. Of all the times to forget the restorative. Ugh. Thank you. I owe you my life. We were ambushed by the Serpent Reavers. Lightly armed as we are, we didn't stand a chance. I was able to flee this far, but the others were captured. They were taken to the Serpent's Tongue. I'm certain of it. I can make my own way back to camp, but I fear the worst for my comrades. Save them, I beg you!
Well, it'll be easy at level 90, but we might as well charge in gung-ho. Oh, someone cleared the way for us. Except for the last 4. And sometimes you gotta watch out for a fate in this area. And done. There's 1. And 2. And since we can fly, we can make our way out of here with minimal conflict. Whereas I decided to teleport to Airport to get back to Skull Valley. So in retrospect, that probably was the better idea, seeing as how I can't see for shit. You have returned! Thank the Navigator! When I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared you would meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? Your gods! These wounds were not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies or no, they go too far! I dread to think what may have become of the two who remain unaccounted for. I pray they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. Let's continue. Thrice damned fishback bastards! I'll kill them slowly, and then chase their rotten skulls through all the 7 hells! Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose, and vengeance is not it. I want your mind on the task at hand, savvy? My apologies, Admiral. You may count on me to keep a clear head. Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Sahagin and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetherite in the depths of Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now. The men are ready, but we but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Sahagin have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is like to be met with fierce resistance. Ah, but we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetherite and eliminate the Sahagin priest presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. The Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates at the Serpent's Tongue. Commander, you have charge over this effort. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilish for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault, and have subsequent units fan out to cover their flanks. At the selfsame moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleet shall harry the enemy from offshore. In likewise, we Scions shall form similar units in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive effort. Chris and Y'shtola, the two of you are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversions should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. A small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwarranted attention. Thancred and Yugiri, your mission is to lure as many Sahagin as possible out of the spawning grounds. Having done so, take to your heels and circle round to join the infiltration unit of Y'shtola and Chris. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheryte, accompanied by Lady Minfilia, as was agreed. Well, don't let me keep you, my friends. To battle! When last did we fight side by side, Chris? Too long ago, I warrant. But come, let us away. All right. We ride. Oops. There's the first. Now the second. So far, not a lot has changed in this particular episode. Oh, hello. I always forget about one. Or two. Alright, the final checkpoint. That's it. Let's rejoin Y'shtola.
Oh yeah, we no longer have that weird running animation. Hold on, we need to, before we continue, I do want to show this off. So before we had our sprint animations for drawn weapons, we used to just wave our weapons around like crazy. It was kind of dumb. Anyway. Pray, do not concern yourself. 'Twas but a glancing blow. Come, the Aetheryte is close at hand. Let us press on.
They have made thralls of soldiers and civilians both.
Did I miss much?
Now for the fun to begin.
So that is how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency.
Not bad.
To the Aetheryte.
And here comes the Admiral.
You'll forgive me my lateness.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Long have you shriveled Swordwalkers, tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end!
And here we go.
You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs. Lord of the world, hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What? Such power! It is transcendent!
Well,
7 hells.
Strike me down if you will. It is futile. I have mastered the gift. I am eternal. O mighty Leviathan, ruler of the seas, born of waters primordial, I offer unto you this frail flesh, that you might grant your faithful servants deliverance. I beseech you, come forth!
Die, damn you!
Foolish shorewalker! You cannot kill that which is eternal!
Heavens forfend. Damn it all!
My being ebb the way. It should by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary! You promised me everlasting.
and that's what you get when you become ether in front of a primal.
Where did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon. Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes no time. The diversionary squadron is lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the Primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us. He means to unleash a tidal wave.
Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than aught seen in nature. Enough to raise entire coastal settlements, if his last attempt is any guide. We cannot suffer history to be repeated. Yet how in the 7 hells are we to prevent it? Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none. Of that you may be sure. But Lim Lane herself would struggle to best the Lord of the World in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and matchwood of us. We need another plan, That much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room.
Alright, back to Limsa. Alright, let's speak with the Admiral.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western Lanosha. Hearthstone, 'twas called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the Company of Heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystals stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well befall a larger settlement, even Limsa. That cannot happen. The Primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the Primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The Company of Heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the Company of Heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, This is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldek and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe. But I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed two ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel. Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
'Twill be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore, assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, Warrior of Light.
Right. Giddy?
Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed in them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I have come face to face with the Primal, I do begin to understand why the Guardians fear them so.
What is it? A message, Admiral. I judge it best that it be delivered at once.
I am listening.
According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan.
One of the company of heroes?
The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual.
I am disinclined to put any store by his claim. And even should it be true, it is as Y'shtola said. None save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us that we do not know already? And yet, having wagered Limsa's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all! The twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed Primal Slayer's claims. Crisp, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning and idleness.
The man you are looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in Lower Lenosha. The Storm Private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May your journey prove fruitful.
Never a dull moment.
Yep, Tempest Gate. What's wrong thing? Let's expedite Bayon's little journey. Now look here, you. You'll have your bloody story. Right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill.
But sir, that's what you said before you had me pick those oranges for you. And before I mucked out the chocobo stables. And before I rolled that millstone over to the mill. And also before...
Gods, man, I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days! And do you hear me complaining? Bah! Suppose some of us just ain't made for the rougher stuff. Alright. Give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Trachtum ain't a generous soul. Now prick up your ears, cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sitting, you can. Ahem! The tale of Trachtum's epic victory over the dread primal Leviathan.
Pause. I've almost got the hiccups, but I can't with this one. Like, it was bad enough when he was mispronouncing Titan's name. But now Leviathan... Oh god, I've got the hiccups. Need water. All right. I think the hiccups are a little bit gone. Let's continue.
Now, the fire beat is huge, make no mistake. To give you an idea of how big, each of his scales is about as wide across as me members long. That's no mean feat, let me tell you. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe on me hands at one stage. Of course, that proved to be a grave mistake.
What happened next?
Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. But not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates in the company of heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic. Yep, too modest. Now, some say you can never truly beat Leviathan. You've got to learn to live with him and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. Ah! It's you! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the intelligence, that's all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm Chocobo Dung. No, I'm the maggots you find wriggling in Chocobo Dung. I have to lie to women to tumble them, and that don't happen much. Remember's tiny. It's pathetic. I sure as hell didn't fight Leviathan, but I have seen it with my own eyes. It was a fair few years back, when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shaking me duties one day, loitering about the harbor when I saw it. A great big massive sea serpent some momes off the coast, with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing. I was so bloody scared I soiled myself right then and there. Well, oh god. Just remembering that day made me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait. If you're here asking after Leviathan, it means you're planning to fight him, ain't you? Well, take care. He really is terrible. Dreadful, I tell you. If you're not careful, you'll end up in his gullet, or at the bottom of the sea.
Why, you worthless lying horse son! I can't believe you made me handle Chocobo Dung! Bayon? Chris, this is Memphilia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon? Leviathan? I see. That's unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Morby dry docks. Pray, make your way here as soon as you are able.
Why did I just... I worked so counterintuitively. Or did I not have the... Oh, I didn't even have the dry docks back then. Well, that's kind of lame. Anyway... I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. But I'll wager it served to take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the World Leader I call her, is complete. She surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonnage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. World Leader and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word, and we shall bear you to Leviathan. All right. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. Actually, should probably save this for tomorrow's little escapade. For now, though, we are going to call it a night, and we will be back with more next time. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned for final announcements. If you're watching on YouTube, here are the links provided to get you where you need to go. Until then, we will see you next time.